And here we go, we return to France for the 1988 Formulalympics season. In this round we will also have the F2 division for their third round of the season. Who's going to win this race in the F1 and the F2 categories? Who is going to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship? But first off, let's get to the pre-qualifying session, as you can probably see the list of teams that need to go through with it. So without further ado, let's jump into pre-qualifying and see how it will transpire. And here we go with Group 1 of the pre-qualifying session, as we have got the first 13 drivers that are going to try and make it to group qualifying. The question is, who is going to make it through to group qualifying and which three of this group is going to drop out? Now, going into the session, we have a new driver representing Australia, and that is Larry Perkins, who've replaced the two F2 drivers that made an attempt in the last two rounds but failed to pre-qualify. So those two drivers being John Bowe and Dick Johnson, who both had failed to impress the team. So they're betting the hopes on Larry Perkins to turn Australia's fortune around, as they are currently at risk of being eliminated after the 10th round of the season, and we are now into round 5. It's a 1 minute 32.6 and Larry Perkins is a 1:31.9, so a good start there for Larry Perkins, already beating Sarah Van der Merwe. But here comes a couple of drives making across the start finish line. Foshi 1:32.9, Apostolo of Greece 1:34.2. They've got someone behind them trying to do a flying lap, but those two drivers are currently in the way. Meanwhile, we've got Antoine Salomon of Switzerland, a man who could have had a good result for Switzerland in the previous round, but just, oh man, that was a painful moment there for the Swiss team. So Larry Perkins leads the way, good showing a debut to be leading one of the pre-qualifying groups. Salomon second, Stephanie Hansen third for Sweden, Sarah Van der Merwe fourth for South Africa, George Foshi fifth for South Africa, Arie Luyendyk sixth for the Netherlands, and Apostolo seventh for Greece. I say that Paulson goes into sixth for New Zealand, and Eliso Salazar of Chile goes into seventh. So Apostolo get a bit close to the bubble as George Foshi tries to make the pass on the Greekman. He does indeed. Apostolo trying to beat his time of 1:34 to try and get himself closer towards the get out of the bottom three. Mike Kirkland goes to the 8th for Kenya, 1:33.2. And Neil Crank out of the slowest of all, 1:34.6, really struggling for himself and for Australia in general. Crank's in the danger zone, so he's at risk of not being able to make it out of pre-qualifying. Foshi beats his time, goes into, it'll stay in 5th, 1:30.7, as Thorke Thyreng, who was slowed down by the two drivers, 1:35.6, so he's got all to do with 4.5 minutes left on the clock. We've got one person yet to set a time, and that is Yana Yama. Goes to the 10th, goes into the bubble, ahead of Apostolo, Crank and Thyreng, who are all in danger of not pre-qualifying. Meanwhile, Neil Crank really struggling here. He's 1.4 seconds down, which as it stands, it would be enough for him to get in the top 10, just about. Thorke Thyreng have a second down in the first sector. With a time like that, that'd be good enough for probably 4th. So Thorke Thyreng on a roll there to try and beat his very slow time with 7/10 down, but he is still pushing as Neil Crank is going to bail into the pits, abandon his time. What is Thyreng going to do? Is he going to do the same, or is he going to try and complete this lap? 3.5 minutes left to go, so Apostle and Crank have to seriously think about going back out again to try and get a better time in. Apostle's out. What about Thyreng? Is he going to abandon the lap? Oh, he is going to abandon the lap. Why? He would have easily beaten Yana Yama, surely. Apostle there on his out lap, being chased down by one of the South Africans. That is Sarah Van der Merwe, it looks like. Apostle need to find 7/10 per second. As I say, Yana Yama beats his time. Very good time. That goes into third, ahead of Stephanie Hansen. So now Arie Luyendyk's the guy in the bubble, so Apostle's got to try and find 9/10 of a second to get in the top 10 and push the Dutch driver out. Oh, big lock on the brakes there. That'll be Foshi. Yep, that's Foshi. He's going to go into the pits. Doesn't need to. I don't think he has to worry about his time. I'd say he's comfortably through into group qualifying. I think Stefan Johansson's staying out, see if he can improve his time, but I don't think he did. So Apostle in the first sector, what can he do here? Making his way through sector 1. We'll wait for the time to come up, see what Apostle could do here, make his way down to the main straight. 54.479 is Perkins' time. Apostle is going to be 1 second down, quite a way off the Australian, but it would still be good. But I think it'd still be good enough for the top 10, unless Ari Lundek has something to say about it. As he's making his way down the second sector, Apostle. He's not really not the quickest on the track, but at all. But it would. Oh, it's actually. Oh, I think it's going to be pretty close between Apostle and Lundek. I think Apostle will have enough time to go for another run if it's not good enough. As may well. Alright, Lundek has started his flying lap, so you can try and fend off Apostle's challenge for the final spot into group qualifying. Apostle coming around the final corner. What's the time going to be? It's going to be... Oh wow, he's way off the pace. Okay, so Apostle way off. So he's going to try to do one more run to try and beat Ari Lundek. So Lundek probably needs to think about see if he can try and get a faster time to push Kirkland down to 9. So it would be Kirkland at risk of going out instead of Lundek. Time is now officially up. Lundek needing to finish his one and only flying lap he can do here, and I'm pretty sure he is not going to improve that time at all. You know, Apostle needs to try and push to try and find some pace while he can, because this is his last chance to improve his time and get out of the bottom 3 spots. 6/10 down. Seems like it'd be good enough to go through, as it seems. But I'll have to see how his other 2 sectors go. As we go down to sector 2, Apostle 9/10 down. Okay, so the time is slipping away quite a bit. Still got a few corners left to go. Apostle can probably still do it. Lundek's coming across the line. He is nowhere near his fastest time, so it's going to be down to him or Apostle of who goes out. Last corner to go. Apostle is going to abandon the lap. Okay, so he does not believe he would have been able to beat Lundek. So that is Apostle a main defeat, and that is him out of pre-qualifying. So Lundek will just about make it through. There's one driver still yet to finish his run. Actually, no, not the case at all. So that is the result. Larry Perkins, a surprise win for him in the first pre-qualifying group. Antoine Salomon takes second for Switzerland. Yuro Yanayama is third for Japan. Stefan Johansson is fourth. The 2 South Africans fifth and sixth. Possum is seventh. Alessio Salazar is 8th for Chile, Mike Kirkland 9th for Kenya, and Ari Lundek takes the final spot in 10th position, which means we say goodbye to Apostolo, Neil Krang, and Thorkel Thyrang. So without further ado, let's move swiftly over to the second pre-qualifying group before we head over to the F2 division. And here we go with the second pre-qualifying group, and much like the first pre-qualifying group, we have a new driver in this division, and that is Pierre-Alain Lombardi of Switzerland, who's been brought in to replace Bernard Santal after a very, very disappointing run from the Swissman after joining the F1 division, despite showing some signs of promise after the first round of the season. So Santal will probably go back into the F2 division, and Lombardi is going to get his chance to see if he can impress the team as Hideki Okada goes out to set the benchmark time for everyone else to try and beat, though it's getting pretty foggy here in France, so hopefully that's not going to impair the drivers too much as they're making their way down the track. But here goes Hideki Okada though, about to complete his flying lap. So let's see, what is that benchmark time going to be for everyone else to try and beat? Hideki Okada time is going to be a 1:32.5, which seems like a pretty quick time. We'll see how that compares to everyone else on the track. As we have got, that's the debutant of Lombardi, 1:33.0. So above the pace of the Japanese driver. Not a bad first run, I'd say. Rufino Fontes of Portugal, 1:35.5. Portugal debut season. It's always going to be difficult to judge how they do in the debut. Portugal are currently last, so they're danger going after the 8th round. Jorge Recalde goes top in this pre-qualifying group for Argentina, 1:31.7. And I say that Costas Loss goes top now, 1:31.3. Jan Lammers third for the Netherlands, 1:32.3. Okada fourth, Lombardi fifth, Joaquim Santos seventh, ahead of his teammate, as John Nielsen of Denmark goes into third. Denmark have had a bit of a struggle in the last couple of rounds, so hopefully they'll try and bounce back. Well, actually no, they did pretty well in Spain. Sorry, struggled in the last round. They didn't get into the race like they've been able to in the first three races. Sorry. So it's Santos, Fontes, and Ian Duncan, the bottom three drivers at the moment. They're half their time. So wait for three drivers to make the way through. We'll start to see who is going to be dropping into the danger zone, as we're halfway into the session already. And some drivers probably coming in the pits, looks like. Jose Celsi goes into fifth for Chile. Malcolm Stewart goes 7th for New Zealand. So the two Portuguese drivers in the danger zone. Ian Duncan on the bubble. And I say that Laruri is in the bubble now. He's pushed Ian Duncan into the danger zone for Kenya. Ian Duncan is going to complete his lap. Is he going to improve his time of 1:34.1? He does. He pushed Laruri into the danger zone now. So Oscar Laruri at risk of being eliminated at the end of pre-qualifying now. He's going to try and find a 10th to push Ian Duncan back in there. 1:92. Okay. Okay, it's going to be a very tough ask. He's cutting it really, really close. He's way off the pace of Costas Loss's time. I don't think he will be able to beat. He's going to beat that time if he makes his way. If he finishes his lap, I think he might end up abandoning it. I don't think he'll be confident that he could be on the time. Nah, it doesn't look like he's going to go into the pits and abandon the lap. Yes, he has. So Oscar Laruri stays in 11th for the time being. With 1 minute 40 to go, I think it's fair to say anyone in the pits will not be going out. So I think Ian Duncan is not going to come back out. Laruri and Santos are out. So it's going to be coming down to Ian Duncan and Fontes to see who is going to take the last qualifying spot. So Lombardi, Okada, Nielsen, Okada and Loth are on the track. They're pretty much guaranteed through at this point. Ian Fontes was to beat all of them. Lombardi would just be in the bubble and Ian Duncan would go out. So Rufino Fontes is going to focus on him because it's either him or Ian Duncan is going out. So coming around the final corner with Rufino Fontes, what can he do here? And he's going to get his run underway now. 50 seconds left on the clock. And there goes Rufino Fontes beginning his run. I'll be surprised if Fontes is able to beat Ian Duncan. I don't think he'll be able to, but I know he's going to give it his best shot. He is 7/10 slower than his teammate Joaquim Santos, and Santos is pretty much guaranteed to go out. Fontes making his way down the first sector as he comes to the main straight. Lost his time in sector 1, 44.0. I don't think Fontes is going to be close to that, but we'll see. He's going to be... Oh, he's way off the pace. In fact, Lombardi goes into 7th, 1:32.3, so well done there from Lombardi. Out of nowhere to go to beat Malcolm Stewart for 7th. Fontes, I think he's already too far behind to make it into group qualifying. Yeah, he pretty much is. So I think it's fair to say it's going to be the two Portuguese drivers and Oscar Laruri that have been eliminated from pre-qualifying. So I guess we'll just need to wait for the results to come through. So we'll wait for Fontes to finish his run, see what his time is. But it's not going to be enough to get past Ian Duncan for sure. And his time is going to be a 1:36.5, so quite a distance away from his best time. Lombardi 6/10 down in the second sector. He is pushing hard, eager to impress, I imagine, but the fact he's through to group qualifying, I think, is a good sign for Switzerland that Lombardi might be able to pull something magical here to help Switzerland get out of the danger zone and be knocked out after the 12th round and get into the top 20. But I think Lombardi's going to abandon. Yeah, it looks like he's going to abandon the lap. He doesn't need to finish it. He's already through, no matter what happens at this point. And now just going to wait for the result for it to end, and it has ended now. And so for confirmation, Kostas wins the second group. Jorge Recali second for Argentina. Stig Blomqvist third for Sweden. John Nielsen fourth for Denmark. Jose Celsi fifth for Chile. Jan Lammers sixth. Pierre Lombardi seventh. Marcus Stewart eighth. Edeka Khan ninth. And Ian Duncan rounds off the top 10. So we say goodbye to Oscar Leroux and the two Portuguese drivers. But before we get to the group qualifying session, it's time for the F2 qualifying session. So we'll head over there now. And here we are for the F2 qualifying session. Now, going into this qualifying session, we actually have 6 brand new drivers making their F2 debuts here. So first off is, hang on, let me get to the driver front. So Tereda out. So we're going to focus on Tereda since he's the driver in front. So, as I was saying, so going into this round, we have 6 brand new drivers making their F2 debuts. First off are the Brazilian team. Both the drivers have been suspended after the constant drama on track that they caused to each other that put them both out of the race. Well, put Fittipaldi out of the race both times and led to Gudjman's disqualification. So for this round, they have to settle with Mauricio Sandro Sala and Raul Boso. What can they do for Brazil? Can they fill in the gaps that Gudjman and Fittipaldi left behind? We'll see. LA have got Alessandro Nani being proposed to the F1 division because LA doesn't have to do pre-qualifying, he's already into group qualifying. So taking Nani's place will be Andrew de Cesaris. Philippe Alliot will fill in Philippe Street's seat as Philippe Street is now permanently in the F1 division. Didier Taze will be filling in the seat that Didone left behind, so he'll be making his F2 debut. And Joy Dumfries replacing the outgoing Julian Bailey after a very disappointing 2 rounds of his F2 season. So Joy Dumfries making his debut as well. So we'll see who's going to get pole position, who's going to get the bonus points, and how will the 6 debutants do here. As Eugene Tereda, just 1 corner left to go with 8.5 minutes left on the clock. What is that benchmark time going to be? It is a 1 minute 40.7. And the driver behind, is that Morimoto as I thought? Yes, it's Morimoto, 140.8, so only a 10 separating the 2 drivers. As we've got some of the other drivers on the track about to come across the start finish line to set their first flying lap times. So we've got Dick Johnson third for Australia, and we've got Mauricio Sandro Sala on his debut in third at the moment, ahead of Rudi Stoll, who's just been passed by Andre de Cesaris, another driver on his debut, 140.9. Bjorn Waltgard for Sweden in 7th position, 142.8. Now Klaus Ludwig goes top for West Germany with a 139.6. With Eugene Tereda second, Philippe Alliot, French driver in his debut, now splitting the 2 Japanese drivers in third. As we've got Raul Boso, the other Brazilian in his debut, in 7th position at the moment. As I said, Alonso goes in the second for the United States. Yannick Dalmas, the other French driver, in 5th behind his teammate Alliot. As we've got Martin Brundle for the United Kingdom in 3rd position. All the times are coming in thick and fast. We've got the other debutant, that's Joy Dumfries in 12th. We're looking for Didier Taze. That's the only debutant left who hasn't set a time yet. So it's Klaus Ludwig is leading the way. Oh, he may even go fast in his first flying lap. Alonso is second. John Winter 3rd for the other West German driver. Martin Brundle 4th for the Pascal Gabon, 5th for Belgium. Eugene Terray is 6th in the pits. Philippe Alliot is 7th. Yank Dalmas is 8th. Morimoto 9th. Andrej Chesney rounds up the top 10. Still no sign of the debutant. There he is, Didier Taze in 15th place. So he's 10 slots behind his teammate, but not bad for the debutant. Is he the lowest placed debutant here, or is it Johnny Dumfries? No, it's Dick Johnson. Where is Dumfries? Okay, Dumfries is 14th. Taze is 15th. So 2 debutants right next to each other. So we've got everyone's third time. Towards the back, I'm surprised Juha Kankin is down 24th. I thought he'd do be a higher position than 24th. John Bowe 25th for Australia, and Pierre Chauvet at the back for Austria. He's really been not having too great season. I mean, he seems to be getting constantly outshunned by his teammate Rudy Stoll a wee bit. Now Danny Sullivan, he's 2 points behind the championship leader, which is Philippe Streif. And here he is down in 16th position compared to his teammate in 2nd. So Danny Sullivan not off to a bit of a rough start here in the qualifying session. We wanted to do a lot better in 16th place, try and get past the 2 debutants of Taze and Dumfries, who are 15th and 14th respectively. So the highest placed debutant is Alio in 7th, it looks like. Yeah, 7th position. Then it is De Chesser is 10th, and then Bosel 11th, Salah 13th, and then it's Dumfries and Taze. Let's make sure, yeah, that is Salah indeed. And here comes Danny Sullivan, last corner. Is he going to come across the line and set a time? They'll beat his 141.6, or is he coming in the pits? No, he's going to come in the pits and abandon the lap. I would have thought he would have done better than we did, but I guess he doesn't agree with that. And Mikael Eriksson, 9,000 for second fast in the second sector, ahead of his team Waldegard 23rd. So maybe Mikael Eriksson could end up getting ahead of the West German, but he's got, I believe that's Mauricio Sandra Sala in the way, and I'm pretty sure it is. Because actually, no, I was going to say that because both was in the pits, no, he's not. He's on the track. And Eriksson feeling like he's a bad lap because of the Brazilian driver. I don't blame him because Terray does 4th in the standings. He is 6th at the moment, and 2 tenths down. He might end up improving his time, going to 2nd. He gets some bonus points to try and close in on Patrici and Sullivan, because Sullivan is 16th. He's on the track. He's doing an outlap at the moment. But let's go back to Tereda. We need to focus on him a wee bit. Second sector, 3 tenths down. Otherwise, you might end up going to 2nd and getting ahead of Al Unser. It'll definitely help out if Sullivan stays at 16th and Patrici stays in 12th. Terray just coming towards the start finish line. And is he going to abandon the lap? No, he's not. He's going to finish the lap. Good choice. And what's his time going to be? He goes, okay, not quite being out, so a bit slower than the last time, but he goes to 3rd. So it's still a bonus point. That's still 1 point more than Sullivan and Patrici could get at the moment because they're outside the top 3. So Danny Sullivan in sector 1 got better work to do to try and catch up to the front runners. And Klaus Ludwig improved his time 39.6, but Danny Sullivan 100th per second faster. So Ludwig may improve his time, but Sullivan might end up getting past him. We've got 90 seconds left of the session to go. Sector 2, Danny Sullivan, sector 2. Oh, 0.03 of a second down. But he's still a striking distance of catching the West German. So all eyes still on Danny Sullivan. He's got a bit, still needs to push a wee bit, but if he can get at least on the front row for the main race, then it'll definitely help him out, extend his lead over Patrici and Tereda in the championship. And I said, oh, he's going to abandon the lap and go in the pits. And Raul Boso goes to start for Brazil. Well, that's a good way to make a debut, going into the top 3. Philippe Alliot improves his time, he gets past Gabon, goes into 7th. Now where is Riccardo Patrese? On and out. Okay, he's about to do his flying lap. So this is like Sullivan's close contender, though the gap is 11 points going into this round. But it's still possible for Patrese to overtake Sullivan in the championship. So focus on... Okay, and Tereda goes into second by 4 thousandths of a second faster than Alonso, another 3,000 faster than Boso. So Boso just slipping out of the top 3 spots, so might just miss out on some bonus points unless Boso does one more run. But Riccardo Patrese starting his flying lap as time has expired. We've still got a few drivers on the track, those about to finish their final laps. And any are going to improve their times, their possessions. So we've got one that's going through the line, but they've not improved their time. Someone's going to the pits. Okay, we've got Chauvet improved his time. He jumps a spot, but he goes into 25th. So, but Chauvet really must be disappointed to be all the way down 25th, especially when he's still 18th. Patrese in Sector 1, what's his time going to be in Sector 1? He's going to be 9/10 of a second down. Okay, so he's quite off the pace. So he's not going to get top 3. He'll stay ahead of, but he is guaranteed to stay ahead of Sullivan because he's in the pits. So his session's pretty much ended. Got some of those still in the flying lap, about to come across the line, and not yet. He's still okay. So Patrese might improve his time, but I don't think he's going to improve his possessions. He won't get ahead of his teammate Chesworth. Juha Kankinen improves his time. He goes into 17th, goes ahead of his teammate Mikola. But still a very disappointing session for Kankinen, and probably the same for Mikola as well, to be down on the 9th row for the main race. Although they're a little bit too far off the front for the main race. And here goes Riccardo Patrese, come across the line. He does not improve his time, he stays in 12th. Okay, what a session that was. So, Klaus Ludwig takes the win for West Germany, takes the 3 bonus points. Eugenio Terrea takes 2 bonus points for himself in second. Alonso is third for the United States for 1 bonus point, ahead of Raul Boso. John Winter 5th, Martin Brown 6th, Philippe Alliot, amazing job in his debut as well in 7th, with Pascal Caban splitting the 2 French drivers, with more motor around for top 10. The 3 championship contenders, Tereda starting in 2nd for the main race, Patrese 12th, Ferrelli and Danny Sullivan 16th. So Patrese and Sullivan got all out to do to try and get some decent points in the main race if they want to try and stay ahead of Eugenio Tereda, who's probably in a very good position to jump both of them to take the lead in the championship. But before that, let's move over to the F1 group qualifying. And here we go, it is the first group for the group qualifying, and without further ado, let's get underway and we'll find out who are the first 11 drivers to make it to the actual race itself. And the first driver to go out is no, it's not Stefan Johansson. Who is the first driver to go out on the track? It's actually John Jones of Canada. So, with John Jones getting all to do for Canada having a pretty okay result, finishing in 7th position. Although it could have been so much better, but thanks to Ludwig Heimer's performance after qualifying for the first time this season. John Jones currently sitting in 11th position with a 3rd place finish in Silverstone, but he's failed to score in Spain and he's also failed to score in Belgium, finishing 18th and 12th respectively. Does have a very clean air, thankfully, so he's not going to have to worry about those that are about to start their flying laps in this qualifying session. And coming around the final corner, and what is the benchmark time going to be from John Jones? It is going to be a 1 minute 31.6. That seems like a really good time. That's probably going to be a quite tough target to beat. We'll see how everyone else compares. As we've got someone coming across the finish line, that is Stefan Johansson, 133.2, so quite a bit off the pace of John Jones. As Derek Warwick comes in with a 131.6, Larry Perkins, the Australian in his debut, 131.9, and Nigel Mansell goes top, 131.0, being John Jones by 6/10 of a second. Top 4 in the 131s. We've got John Nielsen 5th ahead of Jose Celcia of Chile, Stefan Johansson kind of the slowest man on the track for that time, and I say that Ari Vatanen takes that title, with Sarah van der Merwe doing a 132.4. Let's look out for Stefan Johansson, see where he's at. There's sector 1. A Cheever goes into second, 131.4. So he is close, so good time there from him, as Vatanen's now fishing the danger zone thanks to Stig Blomqvist currently going into 5th, with Pierre de Daune now in the bubble thanks to Alboreto with a 131.1. Times are coming in second fast. Thierry Boutsen goes into 3rd with a 131.2, and that's de Daune in the danger zone. Mary's in the bubble, let's say that. Who was that? Timo Salonen of Finland going into 5th. As nearly everyone's set a time now, so we got Jose Celsi in the bubble for Chile, so possible risk of falling into the danger zone. Ricaldi 12th, Jan Lammers 13th, Mary 14th. Possum goes into 9th for New Zealand. That pushes Celsi in the danger zone, and now John Nielsen in the bubble now. Stefan Johansson seems to improve his time. He's behind Antoine Salomon of Switzerland, as he was the last starter to set a time. Dave Irons currently at the back of the field with a 133.5, so 2.5 seconds separating first to 22nd. Hideki Okada 21st, Vatanen 20th, Fauché 19th. John Nielsen improves his time. He does stay in the bubble in 11th, but those behind him have got to make up at least 0.3 of a second as Sarah van der Merwe improves his time, but not quite enough to get into the top 11. Well, lunatic. Ricaldi goes into 3rd. He pushes Nielsen in the danger zone. Larry Perkins goes into the bubble now, so a really good time there from the Argentine. Meanwhile, I was going to say Daly and Fauché have improved their times. They are 19th and 20th, with Okada being at the slowest at the moment with a 133.5. The Sunrise coming to the pits as we've got just over 5 minutes of the session left to go. John Nielsen, we want to try and find some pace to try and get back in the top 11, and that pushes Perkins in the danger zone. Now is he going to finish his lap, or is he going to go to the pits? He's going to bail to the pits. And Derek Warwick improved his time. He goes into 6th. He gets ahead of the Finn of Timo Salonen. You never know. Stefan Johansson, another surprise to see not doing well. He's not really done well this season in general, which is a surprise. Stig Blomqvist improves his time. He goes into 8th. He gets ahead of John Jones of Canada. So John Jones is slipping down the board a little bit. He is still in the top 11, but he may end up being knocked. But if it's going, he's literally going to end up going down into the danger zone. Especially with John Jones and Stefan Johansson, John Nielsen, and Larry Perkins doing their flying lads. Possum improves his time. He's in 10th with a 131.7. And where's Stefan Johansson? Oh, he's bailing for the pits again, so not happy with his time there, evidently. There's John Nielsen going down sector 1. We've got 1 minute left of the session to go, so this is really last chance saloon. So Jan Lammers and Stefan Johansson are essentially out because, well, it's only 52 seconds left on the clock. John Nielsen 4/10 behind. He might end up getting in the top 11, and thus it will push Larry Perkins out. And Timo Salonen improves his time, goes into 5th. He gets ahead of A Cheever now. Paulson 3/10 down in sector 1. That could be a good. That could be a good sign for him. John Nielsen 2/10 down, and Anton Salomon goes into 5th. He pushes Perkins in the danger zone, so Perkins is at risk of going out. 20 seconds left on the clock. John Nielsen making his way to the start finish line. John Jones in the pits. He's calling it a day. So it's Blomqvist. We'll see if the wise decision for them. So it's going to the pits, I'm not sure it is. John Nielsen doesn't improve his time, stays 13th. What about Larry Perkins? He's not going to improve his time, and I'm not sure Perkins is going to have as made in time to try another lap. Possum's in the pits, he's in the bubble, so it's going to be very, very risky for Possum. But this is definitely last chance saloon for John Nielsen, and maybe last chance saloon for Jose Celsi. Perkins, I don't know if he's going to get he'll have another chance at this, but we'll see. Pierre de Daune improves his time, he goes into 14th, but it's not enough, so Pierre de Daune is definitely not going to make it. John Nielsen, sector 1, what's his time going to be? He's going to be 4 tenths down in the first sector. Deki Okada put his time goes into 19s, but Okada is out. Not enough to get into the top 11 and make it to the race. John Nielsen going into sector 2. 2 tenths down, so he's closing in on Mansell. Mansell's time. So it's really just the start and final sector he's got to worry about. It looks like Antoine Salomon improved his time. He stays in 5th, but it's definitely going to help. It might help out when it comes to grip positions. And he closes in on Mansell's time. Okay, John Nielsen. Is he going to try and go across the line? Yes, he is. Is it going to be enough to help him get in the top 11? Push Possum out! No, it's not enough. He improved his time, but it's just not enough. Oh man, that is really unfortunate. But anyway, at the end of that session, Nigel Mansell wins the first group. Michele Alboreto takes second. Jorge Recalli third for Argentina. Thierry Boutsen goes to 4th for Belgium. Antoine Salomon, a really good surprise 5th place from him. Timo Salonen takes 6th for Finland. Eddie Cheever 7th. Derek Warwick 8th. Sig Blomqvist 9th. John Jones is 10th for Canada. And Paulson gets the final spot in Group 1. Which means we say goodbye to Larry Parkins, John Nielsen, Pierre Dodon, Sal van der Merwe, Jose Celsi, Jan Lammers, Stefan Johansson, Hideki Okada, Derek Daly, George Foshi and Ari Vatanen. So with that out of the way, let's now move over to Group 2. And here we go with Group number 2 for the group qualified session. Now let's see who are going to be the other 11 drivers that are going to make it into this race. Of course, a lot of the main drivers in this race are for the championship, along with Alboreto, Gerhard Berger, Schneider, Alan Prost, and the ones to definitely watch out for. Since along with Berger, no, sorry, let me try. Oh, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, let's just get to the group qualified session as I try to rethink. I'm going to try and see it. So Alan Prost is going to go first, set the benchmark for everyone, try and beat the cameras being a bit weird, but of course it's just because of the fog. So what I'm trying to say is, so in this group we'll need to look out for Gerhard Berger, Bernd Schneider, Alan Prost, and Ayrton Senna in this group, because they are part of the top 7 drivers in the Drivers' Championship. Because we had Mansell, Alboreto, and Derek Warwick in the first group. All 3 of them made it through. So the question is, will these other 4 drivers make it through for the sake of the championship? But here comes Alan Prost to make his way across the start-finish line. What's the benchmark time from Alan Prost? 1:32.2, so considerably slower than those in the first group, but it is only a benchmark time. We'll see what everyone else does. So we've got Lewandijk 1:35.5, David Kennedy of Ireland 1:33.1, Elso Salazar of Chile with 1:32.7. Okay, the drivers are coming through the start-finish line. We've got Bernd Schneider there, one of the championship contenders, 1:32.6. Nelson Piquet 1:32.1. He goes faster than modes. Meanwhile, Philip Streif 1:32.5. Ayrton Senna does a 1:32.4. Mike Kirkland of Kenya 1:32.5. And we've got the debutant in the F1 division for Switzerland of Lombardi in 10th. As I say, he's going to the bubble. So Piquet leads, second Alan Prost, Carlos Sainz third for Spain, or I say Berger goes in second, the championship leader goes into second I should say, and Joachim Mass has a 1:31.7, so the first time under 1:32 so far this session, as the times are coming in thick and fast. That's why I'm not going through them right now, so I'm just going to wait for all to settle before I try to dissect everything that's happened. Alessandro Nini, the Italian on his debut, 1:31.9, second fastest in this group. Now that's gotta be something Ellie's gonna be happy with. Okay, everyone's third time. So Joachim Mass leads for West Germany. Alessandro Nini's debut second. Nelson Piquet third for Brazil. Fourth is Gerhard Berger. Fifth is Alain Prost. Sixth, Luis Perez Sala of Spain. Carlos Sainz also for Spain is 7th. Boy Rahal 8th. Ayrton Senna is 9th. Yuro Yanayama is 10th for Japan. And Philip Streif in the bubble in 11th. Where is Alain Prost? Alain Prost is 5th. Philip Streif going to pits. We've got someone staying out. One of the Brazilians is staying out. That was definitely Piquet. He does not improve his time. Ayrton Senna is going to go in the pits though. I probably would say. Oh, sideways action between Ian Duncan and one of the Finns. As Gerhard Berger goes into third, 132.1, with Rahul Puru's time he stays in 8th position. So what can Rahul do here? Kostas lost. He put his time, goes into third for Greece, but it's not enough to get him in the top 11. And meanwhile, Alan Prost improved his time. He's still in 5th position with a 132.180. His teammate Philippe Streif is still in the bubble though, so he'll be feeling a little bit uncomfortable to be at risk of going out when Prost is in 5th. The race, I've just noticed Bernd Schneider outside the top 11. Oh, I missed this detail. So Bernd Schneider at risk of going out. So Bernd Schneider, currently one of the top 7 drivers in the standings after 4 races, tying on points with Alan Prost, at risk of going out. Boy, Rahul has improved his time. He gets ahead of Prost, go into 5th. And there we go, coming towards the final corner. Now, what's the next time going to be? We've got 1.5 minutes left of the session to go. And here's it's going to be 132.1. It does improve his time. He goes into 6th, pushes Prost down to 7th. Prost starting his flying lap now. He'll be wanting revenge for that. Well, wanting to get his 6th place back. Pierre-Alain Labarde puts his time for himself. He goes into 16th ahead of his teammate Franz Labarde Switzerland. No, Comrades Austria. Sorry, that's wrong. I apologies. But Lombardi is still not quite there yet to get into the top 11. He's probably got only time for 1 more lap, maybe 2, possibly 2. David Kennedy, 1/10 behind Joachim Mass in Sector 1. Could he probably get himself in the top 11, give Ireland something to cheer for? 2/10 down Sector 2. Maybe he might do so, push Philippe Streif out of the top 11. 40 seconds left off the clock to go. It'll be interesting to see what Kennedy can do here. We've only got a couple of corners left to go. I think he might just do enough to get himself to the top 11, or is he going to ban the lap and call it a day? Nope, Kennedy's going to ban the lap and go in the pits. Probably felt like something went wrong towards the end. Louis Persal improves his time. He stays in 8th position, however. He's still 5 thousandths of a second ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz. The time's about to expire now. Bernd Schneider coming towards the end of his lap. He won't have enough time to do another run, but he did do just enough to get to 5th, and that's pushed Philippe Streif in the danger zone as he's doing his flying lap now. His last chance to try and beat Yana Yama and get back in the top 11. Lombardi improved his time, but it's not enough, so Lombardi is out. Philippe Streif does not improve his time, so Philippe Streif is out. So Yana Yama just about surviving at this moment. But he is on his flying lap. Can he improve his time? Try and make it a bigger... Oh, big lock up there. Might not be able to do that now. But try and make a bigger target for everyone to try and beat. Philippe Streif is actually only 1/1000 of a second behind. Hybrid and Lewandek improved their times, but they're still towards the bottom 2 spots in this group, so they're both definitely out. Yang Yang's going to the pits. I think that lock up is probably the reason why. Salazar definitely not going to make it through. Malcolm Stewart, I don't think he'll be able to do another lap. And Joachim Mass improved his time actually. He's still out of the front, but he's improved his time quite a bit. 131.707. That might help him out with grid positions. You never know. So still got a couple of drivers yet to finish their runs. Salazar's coming to the pits. He's pretty much calling it quits there. Bernd Schneider coming across the finish line. Nope. Okay, that board broke there, but he definitely did not set a time of 1 minute exactly. That would have been outrageous. But anyway, here is the results. Joachim Mass wins the second group. Alessandro Nini on his debut finishes in 2nd. Gerhard Berger takes 3rd for Austria. Nelson Piquet is 4th. Bernd Schneider 5th. Boy Rahal is 6th. Aaron says 7th. Alan Prost is 8th. The 2 Spaniards of Persal and Sainz is 9th and 10th. And Yuro Yanayama takes the final spot for Japan in 11th which means we say goodbye to Philip Streif, Mike Kirkland, Kostas Sloth, Alessio Salazar, Pierre-Alain Lombardi, Franz Conrad, David Kennedy, Malcolm Stewart, Ian Duncan, Ludwig Heinrich, and Ari Lewandijk. So with those results out of the way, it would be time for to see where everyone lines up on the grid, but first we've got the F2 reverse grid and the main races. And here we go, it is the reverse race for the Formula 2 Championship here in France, with Jumbo and Pierre Chauvet the two slowest in qualifying on the front row, with the next slowest being Bernard Santal and Bjorn Waldegaard to lock at the second row, with those faster qualifiers at the back, with Klaus Ludwig and Tereda on the back row. Who's going to win this reverse grid race? Without further ado, let's get to this race and find out. As we get this set up. Point to Jumbo because he's the man on pole as we get the race underway now. It looks like a pretty decent start there for Jumbo. Holds on to the lead. I think Santal maybe going in to get to second place before the first corner. In fact, here comes Santal. Looks like about Jumbo does hold on to the lead with Pierre Chauvet staying in second. I think everyone's going to make the way around the first corner safely. So Jumbo leads. Pierre Chauvet second, Bernard Santal is third, Michael Eriksson battling his teammate Waldegaard for fourth, then we've got Jean-Pierre Frey sixth, Hannah McCullough getting past Dick Johnson for seventh, Danny Sullivan ninth, and really still rounds off your top 10, trying to get past Danny Sullivan, the championship leader. Well, the championship leader going into this round because Philippe Streif is in the Formula 1 division, and he's going to follow the car back to the pits. As we go back on focusing back on Jumbo, as he is leading the way, we got Santal under pressure from Bjorn Waldegaard and his teammate Michael Eriksson. As Waldegaard trying to make his way past the Swissman for second, but here comes Chauvet trying to get past Jumbo for the lead of the race. And in fact, Chauvet does take the lead. Waldegaard does get past for third, as Michael Eriksson battling Bernard Santal for fourth. And it looks like the Swede is going to do just that. He's going to make his way into fourth. So Santal drops to fifth. He's got Jean-Pierre Frey in sixth position. So the two Swiss drivers battling for fifth position now. As they're about to finish the first lap of the race. So it's Chauvet leading, Jumbo second, Bjorn Waldegaard third, Michael Eriksson fourth, Bernard Santal fifth, Jean-Pierre Frey sixth, Hannah McCullough seventh, Dick Johnson eighth. So they might try to get past Hannah McCullough. Rudy Stoll is ninth, and around the top 10 around the top 10 it's Danny Sullivan. Danny Sullivan's just got past Rudy Stoll, and just outside the top 10 we've got Juha Kankinen for Finland, as we've got the battle for ninth brewing between Stoll and Sullivan. I think Sullivan is going to win out on this occasion, as Pierre Chauvet's already got a 1.4 second lead over second place Jumbo, who's now under quite a bit of pressure from Bjorn Waldegaard, with Michael Eriksson not far behind actually. So maybe the two Swedes might end up getting past Jumbo at the long straight of this track. With Santal got Hannah McCullough now putting the pressure on him. He's got past his teammate Jean-Pierre Frey. Here we go, coming down to the long straight. Is Waldegaard going to make the move on Jumbo? Most likely. We go on board with Michael Eriksson as we watch on as Eriksson can see his teammate right next to Jumbo, and I think Jumbo has just been passed by Waldegaard, but Eriksson seems to be struggling to try and do the same. So they're going to stay behind as Waldegaard makes his way into second. Meanwhile, we've got Hannah McCullough managing to get past Santal, and Danny Sullivan getting past Jean-Pierre Frey. Klaus Ludwig, the man who started pole for the main race, he is in 22nd. He's just got past Pascal Gabal of Belgium. As we head on to lap number 3, Pierre Chauvet with the fastest lap of the race, quickly smashed by Danny Sullivan in 6th position, 142.2, as he's trying to find his way past Hannah McCullough. And what's going to be that time? No, does not look like it. As we go on board with Michael Eriksson, you see he's going to try and make the move on Jumbo to try get into third. Then try to chase his team, possibly chase his teammate for second, and Eriksson easily getting past. And here's Hannah McCullough, and Danny Sullivan trying to get a piece of the action. And Danny Sullivan's going to try to make the move on McCullough. No, not this time, but Jean-Pierre Frey and Bernard Santal battling for the back end of the points. they've got Rudy Stoll of Austria right behind them as well. Oh, but Rudy Stoll not able to find his way past either the Swissmen on this lap anyway. He's got Juha Kankkunen and Andre De Chester as the debutant for Italy. As Mikael Eriksson and John Bowe still having a tussle for thirds. So John Bowe fighting back, Hannah McCullough right behind them as well, and Danny Sullivan is amongst those as well. And here comes Sullivan trying to make the move on McCullough for fifth, and he does so. As we're coming down to the main straight, John Bowe's going to have quite a bit of pressure on Eriksson. McCullough and Sullivan are also going to be putting a lot of pressure on him as well. As we're coming down to the main straight, here comes Mikael Eriksson once again, going to try and make the move on the Australian, and he has gone and done so. He's back into third, but what can John Bowe do here? Sullivan and McCullough, they're in a big tussle of their own. McCullough might try and find his way past the American for fifth position, and Singer's gone and done that. He may end up getting past John Bowe as well. Alright, taking two for the price of one right there. McCullough going into fourth, John Bowe slipping down to fifth. Juha Kankkunen has got past Bernard Santal, so Santal's out of the points in 10th, Kankkunen in 9th. Rudy Stoll has made his way to 8th, so we've got both Austrians in the points position. Though he's trying to catch Jean-Pierre Frey at the moment. Currently in the final corner to start the second half of this race. Oh, we've had a crash! Sullivan has had an incident with Bowe. The front one's in the pits. Oh, John Bowe's been spun round. Okay, so we've had an absolute catastrophe. Okay, we need to get a replay in this and see what on earth has happened here. Also, it's just Sullivan getting spun around. Okay, so we're coming towards the last corner. Sullivan's ahead of Bowe. Oh, Bowe's just spun around, it looks like. Okay, from this impact. Oh, I tried to go the inside. I think Sullivan trying to come off. Let's go with Bowe's perspective. Try and make sense of it all. We're in the final corner. John Bowe is going. I'm not really sure what to make of that. That's really. It looks like Bowe's just. I can't tell if Bowe's steering to him or just. I am not sure what to make of that. Then. Oh, Sullivan spun John Bowe around. Okay, so Sullivan clearly was not impressed with that. Okay, well that was a bit aggressive on Sullivan's part, but to be fair, Bowe looks like he is completely screwed up, and now we've got this huge traffic jam. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a nightmare for these drivers to get around. Okay, so back to the race. So we got those in the. So we got McCullough in the pits, Sullivan's in the pits, Eriksson. Oh man, so people are trying to get past, trying to get out, but trying to get through this, they're not able to. But anyway, Chauvet's going to come out in the lead of this race. Okay, so Sullivan and Bowe are definitely going to be under investigation because, wow, that was completely, well, I'm not really sure what to make of that, but it certainly caused a negative impact on this race at all. But anyway, Chauvet's leading, Eriksson is second, Dick Johnson's third for Australia, Waldegaard's fourth, Rudy Stoll fifth for Austria, sixth is Jean-Pierre Frey, in seventh is Bernard Santal, and those that were caught up in the incident are way behind, so they're pretty much battling for the last point. And Hannah McCullough's currently got that at the moment. He's in 8th, with his teammate Juha Kankkunen in 9th, and Danny Sullivan's coming out in 10th. I think Sullivan could be penalised, or John Bowe definitely will be, because he pretty much was the instigator of the incident, I would imagine, of that incident. We'll find out what happens when we get to the main race. It might be a grid place penalty, or it might end up being a full-on disqualification, or who knows. As Eriksson right behind Pierre Chauvet, this could be Mikael Eriksson's chance to get past Chauvet and take the lead of this race. And Eriksson trying to find his way through. Chauvet not going to make it easy for him. As they're heading towards the right-hander, as we're on lap 6 of 9, and it looks like it says Ericsson's leading the race now, but I think Shova might hang in for the first position, and yes, Shova does maintain the position for now. Yep, so Shova holds his lead, Ericsson second, Waldegaard third, so both Swedes in the podium for this reverse grid race, which is a really, really good showing for them. And Mikael Eriksson half a second ahead, faster than Shova in that last lap, so Shova's going to be really, really struggling to try hang on to the lead of this race. Really Stoll gets the fastest lap of the race, 1:42.0. Now that's a really good time there from Really Stoll, really a really good time. Very clean air, and he is absolutely flying. He has cut the gap between him and Waldegaard to about 6.3 seconds, but with only 3 hours left to go, it's not likely he's going to be able to catch him. And Hanna Mikola goes even faster, 1:41.7, and Danny Sullivan beats at 1:40.5. He's trying to get past Juha Kankkunen. Okay, so the fastest times are coming in thick and fast. So speaking of fastest times, here goes Mikael Eriksson along straight. Going to try once again find his way past Shova for the lead of the race. And Eriksson's got, it says Eriksson's got back in the lead, but I think Shova's going to hang on to the position as it makes to the right-hander. And Shova once again denies Mikael Eriksson of the lead of this race. Okay, really, really intense battling for the lead between these two drivers. Although we've got 2 more laps to go after this, so will Eriksson be able to find his way through? I imagine so, but now Hanna Mikola and Dick Johnson battle for what is that going on with Dick Johnson there? That's a very strange strange bit of weaving going on there. But Hanna Mikola has got found his way past Dick Johnson, and Mikola goes into 7th. Juha Kankkunen under pressure with Sullivan, and I think Sullivan has just got past for 9th place, and I think Dick Johnson might be in striking distance for the American to get a point in this race. And here we go, we start the penultimate lap of this race. This is going to be a very, very epic showdown between these two drivers for the win. And now we've had another incident. We've got Philippe Alliot, the Chancelloress is off, Gabon's. Oh my god, so we've got 4 cars that have gone off all of a sudden. Okay, 4 cars towards the back end of the race. What on earth has gone on there? So we go aboard Brundle. This is at the final corner. What's happened here? Oh no, it's not. It's going to the end of the main street. So we've got Gabon battling with the Chancellor. This is for 17th place. Brundle is getting in the action. So what happened here? Oh, 3 wide. Oh, okay, 3 wide. But okay, so Alliot has completely separate incidents. Okay, so let's see what happened to Alliot. Taze. So he's got Taze and his teammate Dalmas. Oh, he got touched by Taze and he went off. And then we had this calamity going on between. Okay, oh no, that's the wrong button. And then we had this calamity going on between Gabon, the Chancelloress, and Brundle. I think it was just contact. So you touch, both lost control. Okay, so we had 2 separate incidents at the same time. That's taking out 4 drivers. So first Alliot get touched by Taze and he just went spinning. Okay, so alright, so quite instant packed towards the end of this race. Alliot is on the move, but he's going very slowly. I think he's having maybe a problem with his car. Not surprising. Okay, so here goes the battle for the lead again. Eriksson and Showa at the main straight. The 3 strand cars are there. So DeCheters is out. Gabon seems to be. Gabon's moving. Brundle isn't. I think Gabon's out. So here's Shova and Eriksson again battling. But I think Eriksson is going to take the lead of this race finally. And Klaus Ludwig sets the fast lap of the race. He is currently 21st, 1:40.3. Okay, Waldegaard hanging inside this. Yeah, Brundle's not going out, so I think it's fair to say Brundle is out of this race. Danny Sullivan battling for the final point of this race, trying to get past Dick Johnson. I think he's going to have the slipstream for it, though Juha Kankkunen might try and get involved somehow. And Sullivan looking like he's going to make his way through. Yes, he does make his way through. What can Kankkunen do here? Oh, Kankkunen's going to get himself involved. It's going to be might be 3 wide. Or maybe, oh wait, not be. But either way, Sullivan is into 8th. There's Petresi right behind in 11th, sitting back watching on. As Kankinen is 10th, Dick Johnson slips out of the points in 9th, and Derry Sullivan up into 8th position. Ruiz still 3 seconds faster than Waldegaard in that last lap, so Ruiz still's actually nearly caught up to Bjorn Waldegaard. Could he actually get the win off? Not get the win, get 3rd place off him in the final lap? I don't think so, but that'll be something else if that was the case. But anyway, there is Mikael Eriksson, 1.4 seconds ahead of Chauvet, so he's got the pace over the Austria. I think Eriksson might end up is going to be the race winner here, though I think the battle might be now for 3rd between Ruiz Stoll and Bjorn Waldegaard. Going down to the main straight, can Stoll take that final podium spot off Waldegaard? We're still trying to find his way through. Going the outside, I don't think it's going to work out for Ruiz Stoll, but it's going to be close for sure. But it looks like Waldegaard is going to fend off. It's going to hang on to 3rd, just about. But anyway, here comes the race leader, Mikael Eriksson, with just a couple of corners left to go. What a race Eriksson has had. He did do very well qualified, but this reverse grid race, bizarre turn of events that led to the pit stop calamity. It's worked out in Eriksson's favour, and just like that, Mikael Eriksson comes around to take the win here. The reverse grid race here in France. Pierre Chauvet will get a podium spot in 2nd position. A good final battle for Stoll, but it's going to be Waldegaard going to take 3rd. Stoll will take 4th. Jean-Pierre Frere is going to take 5th position for himself, ahead of his teammate Bernstein Tal, with Mikael Eriksson and Sullivan most likely to get the final points, as we just gotta wait for everyone else to make their way across the finish line. And Danny Sullivan gets the fast lap on the final, right in the line, 1:40.0. Good time there for Sullivan, so he'll be very, very keen to turn it into a race win for the main race. And here we go, that's everyone across the finish line. Mikael Eriksson wins with a time of just under 60 minutes, with Pierre Chauvet in 2nd position, just under 2 seconds behind. Bjorn Waldegaard makes it a double podium for Sweden with a time of 60 minutes 7.2. Ruiz Stoll makes it both Swedes and both Austrians in the top 4, with the 2 Swissmen of Jean-Pierre Frey and Bernstein Tal 5th and 6th. Hanna McCullough takes 7th for Finland, and the final point going to Danny Sullivan in 8th position for the United States. Just missing out points is Juha Kankinen, and Dick Johnson rounds off your top 10. Looking further down, we've got Ricard Petresi in 11th, Mauricio Sanchezal on his debut finishing in 12th, ahead of the other debutant of Joy Dumfries in 13th, Jan Dalmas 14th, the debutant of Didier Tays in 15th position, with John Winter 16th, Raul Barcel 17th for Brazil, Eugene Tereda 18th, Alonso 19th, and Klaus Ludwig rounds off the top 20, and to round off the board, Akio Morimoto 21st, Alio after that incident, and Gabon also having a separate incident, managed to finish the race in 20th and 23rd, with the 3 DNS going to Andre DeCesare, Martin Brundle, and John Bowe. And I've just been told that John Bowe and Danny Sullivan will be facing a 5 grid place penalty for the main race after the incident that led to the chaos at the pit stop window. So without further ado, let's move over to the main race. And here we go, it's the main race for the Formula 2 division in France, with the Greg Goretz North, with Klaus Ludwig on pole position, with Eugene Tereda on the front row, with Al Unser and Raul Barcel sharing the second row of the grid. Now, Danny Sullivan was given a 5 grid place penalty. He will be starting down in 21st. John Bowe was also given a 5 grid place penalty, but he was going to start in last anyway, so he remains in last. So without further ado, let's see who's going to win this race. As far as I'm aware, Danny Sullivan, Mikael Eriksson and Ricard Petresi, with Eugene Tereda having an outside chance of taking the lead of the Drivers' Championship of Philly Street. All Danny Sullivan needs to do to get past Philly Street is to finish 9th or better, so you end up with 39 points or more, depending where he is at finishing. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to the race and we'll see how it will all play out. So we'll focus on Klaus Ludwig. As the race for the main race of Formula 2 gets underway now, and it looks like a pretty good start there for Eugene Tereda. But yeah, in fact, Eugene Tereda may already end up finding his way to the lead of this race going into the first corner. And Tereda seems to have gone and done so, getting ahead of the West German. And it looks like everyone's going to make their way through turn 1 safely, thankfully. After we had a bit of drama in the reverse grid race, we had a 3 cars having an incident, one having another roughly the same time. And we've got the Formulalymic car back in the pits before things get out of hand. So looking out for Dai Sullivan, he has always made it to a 19th. Mikael Eriksson is 22nd. Ricard Patrese is 12th. So all the championship contenders kind of going outside the points, going in this first lap already, so far. As we've got a bit of a tussle for 4th between Bothell, Winter, and Alia. Looks like we might end up having a 3 wide going into the right-hander. Can they get through the corner safely? As they make their way to the right-hander, we've got a bad feeling like things might get a bit out of control. In fact, yes, it has. Bothell has gone off. Off goes Bothell. Can he get back on the track? Okay, everyone's flying past where. Well, it was bound to happen. We go around that corner. Bothell is on the move again. Well, he's got a lot. Well, he's pretty much got a lot of work to do. He's right at the back of the field now, quite a bit behind everyone. So it's Tereda leading, Klaus Ludwig 2nd, Alonso 3rd, Philippe Alliot is 4th, John Winter 5th, Martin Brundle 6th, Yannick Downs is 3rd, Pascal Gabon 8th, Andrew De Cesare is 9th, and Ricard Patrese rounds off your top 10 as De Cesare is trying to make the move on Pascal Gabon for 8th position. Now, can he make his way through to 8th spot? Most likely. As Bothell makes his way around the final corner, he's got a lot of work to do. It's on to lap 2 of 18, and De Cesare does get past the Belgian of Pascal Gabon. As we've got the front runners, we've got Klaus Ludwig right behind Eugene Tereda, trying to see if he can find his way back past the Japanese driver for the lead of the race. Eugene Tereda having an outside chance of taking the lead of the Drivers' Championship. As it stands, he's going to be comfortably ahead in the Drivers' Championship as it stands already. As we're on lap 2 of 18, as Klaus Ludwig going to see if we can try and get the slipstream to get back past the Japanese driver. And Klaus Ludwig right behind him, try to go for the inside. Looks like he has found it. Think he might end up taking the lead of this race. Alonso right sitting behind, watching on as I make it to the right-hander, and Klaus Ludwig, yes, he gets his head of Tereda, retakes the lead of this race. And like I'm looking towards the map, it looks like Bothell's already managed to catch up to the back markers of this race. That's not what I selected. Klaus Ludwig sets the fast lap of the race, 141.4. A very quick time there from the West German, wanting to make sure he gets comfortably ahead of the rest of the field. There's Ricard Patrese getting past Pascal Gabon for 9th position. So he's going to see if we can try and catch back up to his teammate Andrew Cesare. He's trying to put the pressure on Martin Brundle now for 7th. Yannick Downs put a bit of a gap, but he's got John Winter now to try and get past for 5th position. So Alonso may have a chance of getting ahead of Tereda for 2nd position. But can Tereda catch up to Ludwig? I don't think so. I think Ludwig is a bit too far ahead for him to try and get the slipstream. But here's Alonso going for the inside. Oh, going a bit of a weave going on there. I'm not really sure what that's about, but it looks like Alonso is going to get the job done, and that's going to be him into 2nd. Nicky Van Down, John Winter have been passed by Yannick Dalmas. Andrew Cesare is trying but not be able to get past Brundle, looks like. As we're on to lap number 4 of 18. Klaus Ludwig gets the fast lap, but Alonso betters at 141.0, 4 tenths faster than the West German. So Alonso already making Ludwig know that he is catching up to him. Meanwhile, Dai Sullivan is up to 15th position, trying to catch Didier Tace now for 14th. Mikael Eriksson in 23rd. He's kind of struggling in this race. He's right behind Bertrand Santal, but not really able to do much, it looks like. He's really struggling amongst those in the back. Meanwhile, we've got Philippe Alliot trying to do the same with Eugene Tereda, and Alliot going for the inside line. I think Alliot may have found his way through, and yes, he does. So Alliot goes into third position. What a move there from the Frenchman. As we've got Martin Brundle trying to catch up to John Winter, but not able to do it. Meanwhile, Danny Sullivan going up into 13th position, but Morimoto getting back ahead of him, putting him down to 14th position. But anyway, we're on to lap 5 of 18 now. Who's faster last lap? Oh, Alonso cutting another 4 tenths down, but Ali was even faster, 140.6. So he's faster than the driver in front of him, and he has the fast lap of the race so far. So Philippe Alliot, first main race, and he's already making a really good impression for the French team, absolutely flying up the order. As they're heading down the main straight, but can Klaus Ludwig close in enough on can he close in enough on Klaus Ludwig? I don't think so. Oh, maybe actually. No, I don't think he's going to be able to do it this lap. He might be able to do it in the next lap if he keeps up the pace. Oh, but he's right behind him though. But will he be able to pull this move off? I'm not sure. Oh, but it looks like Alonso is going to do it, and he's going to take the lead of this race. So Alonso goes into the lead. Ludwig second, Philippe Alliot third, Tereda fourth, Dalmas fifth, John Winter sixth. He's got De Cesaris putting pressure on Martin Brundle, and De Cesaris has managed to get ahead of the Brit. Oh, trying to do the same with John Winter, but not able to do it. 140.6, Alonso said the fastest best, but doesn't beat Alliot's fastest lap. He was faster than Alliot on that last lap though. He's got the slipstream, it looks like. I think he might end up getting ahead of Klaus Ludwig, and he may end up going into second position. And meanwhile, Sullivan going up into 12th now. He gets ahead of Sandro Sala. But Klaus Ludwig not going to be able to do much about it, as Alliot's going to make his way to second. And further down the field, we've got John Winter under pressure from Andrew De Cesaris. And John Winter managing to fend off the position at the moment, with Brundle and Patrese pretty much right behind amongst all the action that's going on. A few overtakes up and down the order. Philippe Alliot gets fast lap of the race, 2 tenths faster than Alonso. Philippe Alliot really putting some pressure on Alonso. Alonso's got all to do. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of Alliot at the moment, but it looks like he may end up coming under a bit of pressure for sure. There we go, coming to the long straight. What can happen here in this long straight? I imagine it's going to be quite a bit of drama. In fact, I think we may have a bit of drama towards the front. There's John Winter under pressure from De Cesaris. Trying to see if he can find his way through the West German for 6th place. And Cesaris going to the inside line. I think he's going to do it. And that is him into 6th. What about those right behind? Brundle and Patrese not really able to get much of the action. Jan Dalmas, he's not too far behind Tereda. He is 6 tenths down, so maybe he might be able to close in on Tereda and make his way to 4th. I think, anyway. As there's Jan Dalmas going for the inside line. He thinks he's got the slipstream. He thinks he may pull off the move for 4th. Is he able to do it? Not quite, but he was quite close. So John Winter under more pressure. He's got Martin Brundle to deal with, and I don't think he's going to be able to fend off the Brit. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. He actually manages to. Oh man, but the battle is so tight between those 4 drivers. It's really going to be exciting to see how it pulls off. Though I think De Cesaris is starting to pull away, so it might end up just being a 3-way fight for 7th. And meanwhile, Danny Sullivan pulling off another overtake. He goes into 11th. So he's now going to try and catch Jump Free, who's at the back end of the points in 10th. As Alonso does a 1:10.40.6. And Jan Dallas gets the fast lap of the race, 1:40.4. I was about to say Alonso was still faster than Alonso in that last lap, but wow, Jan Dallas getting the fast lap. He's right behind Tereda. Wasn't quite able to take him that last lap. He might be able to this lap. Looking out for the championship contest, Mikael Eriksson in 19th position. Sullivan in 11th, Tereda is 4th, and Patrese in 9th. But 9th place would not be enough for Patrese to get ahead of the championship. He's quite a bit off. Yeah, Dalmas going to the outside of Tereda. Oh, good switch over to the inside. Can't he pull it off? Going to the inside line, and yes, Dalmas has done it. He has finally got ahead. And now Mario Brown trying to put the pressure back on John Winter as they head for the inside line. And that is Brundle through into 7th. Patrese not really able to do anything about it. He's right behind the West German, but not able to do anything about it for the time being. Alonso now less than a second behind, Ali less than a second behind Alonso. As Alonso, oh no, I thought he was going to the pit. No, he's going to the pits. Okay, so Alonso's in, so is Alio, Ludwig's in, Dallas is in, Tereda's going to stay, so Tereda's going to go into the lead of this race. Who's going to come out first, straight out? It looks like it's going to be Oticheto staying out, Brundle staying out, Alonso on the move. With Klaus Ludwig right behind, Dalmas is stuck in there. So Alonso's going to come out in 5th position, Ludwig's going to come out in 6th. Philip Allen's going to come out in 7th. He was the fastest man on the track, though we've got some people staying out. Sandra Sal's one of them, but he's in 8th at the moment. So on the lookout for those that stayed out. Tereda in the lead of the race at the moment. The Chancellor is 2nd. Brundle staying out. Brundle's in 3rd. Patrese 4th. Alonso 5th at the moment. He's 9 seconds behind Patrese, so I think it's an easy catch, Patrese for sure. But what can he do for the time being? I'm not sure. As you can see, the front runners, the battle for a second between Brundle and the Cesaris, but the Cesaris isn't going to yield that possession. So Alonso 3 seconds ahead of Ludwig. Philippe Alliot maybe under a bit of pressure from Sandra Sala. Sandra Sala needs to come in the pits at some point. Jean-Pierre Frey 9th ahead of Han McCullough, just at the back end of the top 10. As we've got John Windsor under pressure from Bjorn Waldegaard for it now. Eugene Tereda coming into the pits this lap. Yes, he is. He's coming into the pits. What about the Chesers and Brothers Link coming into the pits now? Yes, they are. I say Patrese as well. So Alonso, I'm pretty sure he's going to hang on to the lead of the race. Looks like Tereda's coming in and out already, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to get ahead of Tereda. No, of Alonso. Alonso's going to retake the lead. Klaus Ludwig going to second. Where's Tereda going to end up? He's going to come out in third. He's going to be just ahead of Philippe Alliot. Brundle's going to come out in 5th. The Cesaris going to be 7th. He's just been passed by John Winter. Patrese is going to come out in 8th. And we've got everyone else behind in the pits that either haven't gone to the pits yet or have already pitted. And Yannick Dalmas is going to come out in 9th. Actually no, because Gabon is battling hard for 9th between him and Dalmas. So with the pit stops nearly out of the way, we'll wait for all the pit stops to be finished. So Alonso has a 3-second lead over Ludwig. Tereda is under bad pressure from Philippe Alliot, so I think Alliot's going to end up passing him for the podium spot in 3rd. Is Alliot going to be able to do it though? Bit of waving there from Tereda and trying to put some pressure on Alliot, I think, but not going to be able to happen because Alliot's going to take 3rd. I think everyone's going to finally come out of the. I think everyone's out of the pits. Yes, let's see who's made the biggest gains and losses. The biggest gainer is Danny Sullivan from 21st up to 13th position. Sorry, so he gained 8 places. Next biggest gainers are Kankden, DeCheseris, and Alliot. They've all gained 4 positions, so 7th, 11th, 12th, and 16th respectively. Oh, sorry, Patrese also gained 4 positions. And then the next gainer is Dumfries, who's gained 3 positions. Started in 14th, he's made his way to 11th. The biggest loser is Bosel for, well, after that lap 1 spin, going from 4th down to the back of the field. But the fact that he recovered to 14th, that's really good for him, but it's a shame he might not score any points. The next biggest loser is Morimoto, going from 10th down to 15th, and then the next biggest losers are Mauricio Sala and Denny Chase. They've both dropped 3 positions each. Towards the back of the points, Gabon maybe under a bit of pressure from Joy Dumfries for a top 10 spot. There's Juha Kankkunen and there's Danny Sullivan amongst them as well. As Joy Dumfries going to try and make the move on Gabon, and it looks like he's going to do just that. It's Dumfries in the top 10 now in a points position ahead of the Belgian. John Winter, Riccardo Petrelli sets a fast lap of the race, 140.3. So the two Italians are increasing their pace quite a bit at this late stage of the race, but I still don't think it's going to be enough for them to get a result better than 7th and 8th place. Oh, it might be 3. It's going to be 3-1 going to the right-hander. Oh, not 3 wide, but Kankkunen does get past Gabon. Sullivan not able to do it. And now Philippe Alliot gets fast up the race, 140.2. So the pace has increased quite a bit from Alliot, with just 2 laps left of this race to go. But Riccardo Petrelli does one better, 140.2. So they are increasing their pace in this late stage of the race, but I still don't think it's going to be enough to change the outcome. I think it's going to be Alonso with the win, Ludwig second and Alliot third for sure. But I think Tereda, Brundle, Winter, Cheddar and Petrelli are going to be round off the top 8 here. Oh, but meanwhile, Kankkunen just got past Dumfries to the top 10. Philippe Alliot has passed that 140.1. So Philippe Alliot putting the hammer down for sure. But he is closing in Ludwig, but it's still not going to be enough. He's going to have to sell for 3rd position, it looks like. Alonso's going to be held. It's got a bit of traffic ahead. He's going to shove it and John Bow in the way. But can he find his way through them? How much is it going to slow him down? It's going to slow him down quite a bit, I imagine. But what can he do here to try and get around it? Well, Alonso he sits back watching on. Ludwig can see what's happening, but Alonso not able to find his way through. It's 3 wide going. It looks like it's going to be 3 wide going to the right hander. What's going to happen here? You know, it's going to be, well, we're going to have an incident. Chauvet is off. So off goes Chauvet. Well, just 3 wide is always going to be a difficult situation there. But can Chauvet get back to the race? Or is that him out of the, I think that's going to be him out of the race, looks like. 4th is Tereda. Yeah, Chauvet's out of the car. He will be a classified finisher. He'll be classified in last position because he has completed more than 90% of this race. But anyway, with just 1 corner to go, Alonso still got a back marker in front of him. Going to the final corner, and Alonso is going to take the win of this main race here in France. So Alonso wins the main race here, with Clarence Ludwig taking 2nd position for West Germany. Philippe Alliot 3rd with taking the fast lap 139.8. Tereda a well-deserved 4th position for the Japanese driver. Now it's going to wait for everyone to make the way across the finish line. And here we go. That's everyone across the finish line. Alonso takes the win by just under 31 minutes, being Clarence Ludwig by about 2.5 seconds, with Philippe Alliot only 4 seconds down on Alonso to finish 3rd. There's Tereda taking 4th for Japan, Martin Brundle 5th, John Winter 6th, the 2 Italians 7th and 8th, Jan Dallas 9th, and Juha Kankkunen gets the final point for Finland in 10th. And those just outside the top 10, we've got Joy Dumfries in 11th, Danny Sullivan will be up disappointed to be down 12th, Pascal Gabon 13th, Raul Sandro Sala. Well, actually, no, Ralbo fell 14th, a good recovery after the dry lap 1. Hannah McCullough 15th, Mauricio Sandra Sala is 16th, Rui is still 17th, Didier Tate 18th, Akira Morimoto takes 19th, Mikkel Eriksson is 20th, with Jean-Pierre Frey 21st, Bjorn Walgard 22nd, Dick Johnson 23rd, Boris Santal 24th, and the last finisher is John Bow in 25th position, with Pierre Chauvet the only driver to not finish this race in 26th. So with that out of the way, it is now time for the F1 race, but first let's take a look at the grid lineup. And here we go to the grid lap. Mansell's on pole position, Michele Alboreto takes second, row 2, Ricciardi and Thierry Boutsen. 5th is Antoine Salomon and Timo Salonen is 6th. 7th is Eddie Cheever, Derek Warwick is in 8th. To wrap the top 10 is Stig Blomqvist and John Jones. 11th is Possum, Joachim Mass takes 12th. 13th is Alessandro Nini, Gerhard Berger is down in 14th. 15th, Nelson Piquet, Bernd Schneider is alongside in 60th. Row 9 is Boy Rahal and Ayrton Senna. 19th is Alan Prost. 20th is Louis Perez-Sala. And at the back of the grid, Carlos Sainz and Yuro Yanyama. With a great pole position for Nigel Mansell and Gerhard Berger outside the top 10, this opens the door wide open for Nigel Mansell to take the lead of the Drivers' Championship, maybe even help out the United Kingdom massively in the Nations competition. Can Nigel Mansell convert this pole to a win? Without further ado, let's get into this race and we'll find out. And here we go, it's the F1 race heard here in France with Nigel Mansell in pole position, Michele Alboreto in second, and Jorge Ricciardi getting the final bonus point for Argentina in third position. Now in terms of the championship, Gerhard Berger may lead the way by 9 points over 6th place Nigel Mansell, but Berger is starting 14th while Mansell's on pole. With the driver's third overall in the Drivers' Championship, it's Michele Alboreto, who is 6 points behind Mansell in third. And since Alboreto is on the front row alongside Mansell, Alboreto has a good chance to try and pass Gerhard Berger in the championship and may possibly get ahead of Mansell in the championship. Without further ado, let's get into this race and we'll see what happens as we get the race underway here. And the race gets underway now, and it looks like it was a bad start there for Nigel Mansell, as Michele Alboreto looks like he's going to capitalise it, and he seems to have already taken the lead of this race. So a disaster there for Nigel Mansell. In fact, here comes Thierry Boutsen to make it even worse. Thierry Boutsen getting ahead into second place. Oh, so not a good starter for Mansell, but it's Alboreto leading the way. Boutsen Mansell's trying to get the pass, move back on Boutsen, so Boutsen second, Mansell third, Ricciardi 4th, Salomon 5th, Salonen 6th, Cheever 7th, Warwick 8th, Blomqvist 9th, and John Jones are in the top 10. We've got a few passes making their way just before we head to the main straight. Before we happens, let's get to the Formula part to the pit. It's Alboreto makes his way down to the main straight already 1.3 seconds ahead of second place Thierry Boutsen. As I imagine there's going to be a lot of slipstream streaming going on here. Ricciardi trying to close in on Mansell, looking for Derek Cheever trying to put the pressure on Derek Warwick. That is for 7th position. Got a bit more. We've got some slipstream battles definitely going on further down in the field. Cheever not going to get the pass on Warwick. Meanwhile, Boutsen has been passed by Nigel Mansell back into second. They're going to be thanks to the slipstreaming that's withstood. And we've got cars off. Carlos Sainz is off. Okay, so Sainz has had off. What's happened to the Spaniards? Okay, this will be Alain Prost that's right behind him. Yes, it is Alain Prost. And what happened here? Going in the right corner. Okay, bit of an big off there for Mansell. I'm not really can't make sense of what happened. Let's go from Prost's perspective. Did Prost make contact with Sainz by chance? We have a few of these drivers in the F2 races. No, Sainz just lost it on his own. Okay, so a driver mistake there from Carlos Sainz. And that sent him off the road. So is that the end for Sainz already? I really hope not. But anyway, Alboreto leads, Mansell second, Boutsen third, Ricciardi 4th, Salomon 5th, 6th is Salonen, Warwick 7th, Cheever 8th, John Jones 9th, and Stig Blomqvist rounds off the top 10. It looks like Carlos Sainz is on the move again, but he's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to try and get some points for himself and for Spain, as his teammate Louis Perez-Sala is currently only 1 place ahead of him in 21st. Salomon being 5th, this could be a good thing for Switzerland, because Switzerland are currently in the danger zone to be eliminated at the end of the 12th round, and they are currently the bottom place team that are classified thanks to a 16th place finish and an 18th place finish in the first 2 races. After that, it's just not gone their way. A double DNQ in Spain, a DNF in Belgium. So if Salomon scores a point here, what Salomon needs is essentially 10th or better to overtake Japan, put them in the danger zone, and put Switzerland in the top 20. one of the top 20 places to make it to all 16 races. As Derek Warwick's trying to make the move on Timo Salonen, and it looks like Derek Warwick is easily got his way through the Fed, and that is Warwick into 6th position. Meanwhile, championship leader Gerhard Berger really struggling this race, being passed by Alessandro Nannini, the debutant for Italy. And well, Nannini, the fact he could make the race for Italy is really, really good, even though his teammate is currently leading the race by quite a comfortable margin over second place Nigel Mansell, as we begin lap number 3. Alboreto 133.9, anyone going to beat that time? Does not look like it for the time being. The field is starting to spread out a bit. At Achiever, it looks like they're trying to put the pressure on Timo Salonen. This is for 7th position. Can the American do it? And Cheever manages to get past Salonen, so that is Achiever into 7th for the United States. This is really, really good, nice move there from Cheever. There's John Jones in 9th, got a bit of pressure from Stig Blomqvist, and Joachim Mass is trying to get involved, as well as his teammate Bernd Schneider. But Brazil might want to think about starting to push hard if they want to try and get that nations title after losing by a whisker to West Germany. Michael Alboreto gets fast lap 133.8, a really quick time there from the Italian. Battle for second is definitely holding up between Boutsen and Mansell, as Boutsen's seems to have closed in on Mansell quite considerably. And going for the inside line, Boutsen going to see if he can make the move on Nigel Mansell. Is it going to stick? And yes, it does. Thierry Boutsen has found his way back into 2nd position ahead of the breadth of Nigel Mansell. Meanwhile, his teammate Derek Warwick in 6th, trying to see if he can find his way past of Salomon, but not able to find his way through. Well, John Jones, we're going into 8th, gets ahead of the Finn of Salomon. Salomon's kind of struggling this race. He qualified pretty highly, but he's definitely slipping down the order a little bit, down to 9th position. He's got the Swede of Stig Blomqvist right behind him. That's going to be putting a bit of pressure on him. And Carlos Sainz, the man carrying the back of the field, he gets the fastest lap 133.8, so Carlos Sainz got all to prove after being a spin out in the first lap. He is 8 seconds behind the next person 21st, which is his own teammate Per Sala, who seems to be in a bit of a tussle between himself and Jiro Yanayama for 20th place. And remember, Gerhard Berger really starting this race. Here goes Nelson Piquet, though, he's trying to get into just really making Berger's day worse. Berger is still continuing to struggle in this race, slipping down the order quite considerably. They come down to the main straight. And he slips, possible slipstream battle. Achiever maybe under a bit of pressure from John Jones for 7th. We'll see what happens here. We've got a bit of a gap down to from 9th downwards. We've got Salonen, leading that group, but John Jones not close enough to catch Achiever this time. And Joachim Mass wasn't close enough to catch Blomqvist, who is nowhere near where Salonen is for 9th. And I think we've had an off. Yeah, we've got 2 offs. Okay, with 3 offs. Nannini, Rahal and Senna have all had a big off. Oh, Prost has somehow had an off as well. Okay, so we're going to go... Okay, so let's get a replay about... find out what happened here. Board's a little bit messed up, so we're going to go on board with Senna. And the ballot... Oh, Nannini is right there. Rahal is... oh, they're going to be 3 wide. Going around the right-hander. Oh, 3 wide was never going to work out in this corner. And Sam doesn't hit the wall, but oh, that was a big off there. But we'll find where Rahal is amongst. Well, he only went sideways. So I imagine Rahal should be able to get back on in the track perfectly okay. Nannini having a bit of a spin as well. Where's Nannini? There's Nannini going straight back on the track, so he's able to keep the engine running at least. This was always going to happen. But what about Prost? What happened to him? Oh, Prost just completely lost on his own, and he's gone way off. Okay, this is yeah, because Yanayama definitely did not make contact with him. I think he's just having a bit of I don't know if he got damaged from the incident. I don't know. But he's on the move. Sainz is on the move. Prost is not going anywhere. Rahal's back on the track. Oh, Senna's out of the race. I think Prost is out. Yes, Prost is out. So Prost is gone and Aaron Senna's out of the race. Okay, so 2 retirements in this race. Senna's mediocre season is continuing. Prost with a bit of a disappointment in the 9th Formulalympics. He got 2nd place in Belgium the last round, but himself and France did not need this result. They need Prost to get a good result for France in the Nations table, and also for Prost to really come alive in the Formula-Olympic world. But well, it's just doesn't seem to be happening here for him, especially not this season anyway. So Alboreto leads, Boots in 2nd, Mansell is 3rd, Ricciardi 4th, Salonen is 5th, 6th is Derek Warwick, Aichi was 7th, 8th is John Jones, Timo Salonen is 9th, Stig Blomqvist rounds off the points positions in 10th, although that might end up going to Joachim Mass, because here comes Joachim Mass to try to put a bit of pressure on the Swede. Going the right-hander, and Joachim Mass looks like he has about taken the spot off Blomqvist. So we got West German in the points position now. Of course, West Germany have not been off to a bit of a rough start trying to defend their title in the Nations Championship. As Alboreto sets the fastest lap, 1:33.4. What a time there from Alboreto. 7/10 faster than Thierry Boutsen. Alboreto setting the fastest lap at 1:33.4. Alboreto absolutely flying this race. Nearly a full second ahead of 2nd place of Thierry Boutsen, with Mansell 3rd, Ricciardi 4th, Salomon 5th, Warwick 6th, Aichi was 7th, John Jones 8th, 9th to Salonen, and Joachim Mansell in the top 10 is looking towards the further down. We've got Posse might end up trying to get past Bernd Schneider here, so the New Zealander trying to get a piece of this action. Well, not able to find his way through, so staying in 13th position. He's got Berger still right behind him, though Berger's been really having a difficult time with Nelson Piquet this race. We are on to lap number 10 of 35. And I think it's Joachim Mass. Is he going to make the move? Looks like he is indeed, and that is Joachim Mass into 9th position. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider will be able to do the same with Stig Blomqvist, so Schneider goes into 11th, so maybe he can try to get past Allen and get both West Germans in the points positions. 1:33.5 is Albert's time, 1:33.8 is Boutsen, so Boutsen 3/10 slower in that last lap, but 2/10 faster than Mansell in the last lap. Bernd Schneider going to cut across into the outside. Is it going to be enough for Schneider to get through? And Schneider does get through, so that is both West Germans in the top 10 now. Possum has found his way past Blomqvist for 12th. New is coming, and yes, Possum has found his way through. So we're on to lap number 12. Let's see the progress so far. See who has made the biggest gains and losses. The biggest gainer so far in this race is Bernd Schneider from 16th to 10th. Then it's Yana Yama, who went from 22nd up to 17th. Then Louis Perez Sala from 20th to 16th. The biggest loser being Alessandro Nini, they've been getting spun out. So going from 13th down to 19th. And Timo Salonen has been falling down the order from 6th down to 11th. And then Blomqvist from 9th to 13th place. He's going to try and go for the inside line. I think the Canadian is going to go for it. And it looks like he has found his way through a achiever, and that is John Jones into 7th place. Just what the Canadian needs to, well, definitely help himself out in the championship. But will he be able to close in enough to make the overtake? I don't think so, actually. I don't think Salomon is close enough to make the pass, so he's closing in on it now, but I don't think it's going to be enough track for him to pull it off. And Salomon is just going to be left waiting for another opportunity. Meanwhile, further down, John Jones has just found his way into 6th, getting past Derek Warwick. Oh wow! So John Jones is starting to fly up the order now. And coming down to the fast section of the track, can John Jones catch Antoine Salomon and go into 5th place? Well, he's definitely got the slipstream there on Salomon. Is he close enough to make the pass? I'm not sure. Maybe, but maybe not. Oh no, he's definitely not got the. He's not close enough. But the fact John Jones has caught up to them pretty quickly, it's got to be concerning for Switzerland and for Argentina. As Joachim Mess, Thierry Boots inside the fast lap, 1:33.4, half a second faster than Mansell at last lap, so putting a bit of a gap between him and the Brits for second. Okay. Those battling for 4th, not able to do anything at the moment. Here goes a Cheever with a bit of pressure from Joachim Mass right behind him, and Joachim Mass not able to make a move, keeping Cheever's 8th place safe for the time being, as we're now at the halfway point of this race. So let's take a look. Thierry Boots is in the fast lap again, 1:33.4, closing in on Alboreto now, so he's putting an intense pressure on the Italian now. But anyway, looking at those who made the biggest gains and lost at this point, the biggest gain is still Bernd Schneider from 16th to 10th. Louis Parisala and Jan Yama both gained 5 positions each. Louis Parisala started 20th and Jan Yama started last and 22nd. The next biggest gainer is John Jones, has gained 4 positions from 10th to 6th. The biggest loser being Alessandro Nini after being spun out. Stig Blomqvist and Timo Salonen have both lost 5 positions each. They've been struggling in this race. They started 6th and 9th respectively. And it looks like Mass is going to go for it, and I think Mass has successfully found his way into 8th position, getting ahead of Eddie Cheever, with Bernstein right behind him, so Bernstein might be want to try to do the same thing. Thierry Boots inside the fast lap again, 1:33.3. 3/10 faster than Mansell at last lap. The gap is now down to 3.13 seconds, so Bootson has actually got the floor, is actually flooring it now. He's probably going after Michele Alboreto. Does not want him to get away too much. Don't give away too much at all. Antoine Salomon and Riccardo are quite a bit faster than John Jones at last lap. So John Jones has started to fall off the pace a little bit in 6th position, but still would be a decent result for him. And for Canada, Nelson Piquet sets the fast lap in 13th, 1:33.2. So Piquet is starting to pick up his pace now, as he is struggling down in 13th place. He's been tussling with Gerhard Berger for a good while. Berger's dropped down to 16th, so Berger is really having a horrid time here in France. That's opening the door for Mansell and Alboreto to get ahead of him in the Drivers' Championship, giving Schneider an outside chance, because Schneider is currently in 10th. How many points is okay? So Schneider currently has 29 points. Gerhard Berger has 56, so it'd be 27 points separate. And so it would be so it's mathematically not possible for Schneider to lead the Drivers' Championship, but it's still possible for Schneider to cut the points gap down, especially with a move like that. That's going to help him get into 9th position after getting past a Cheever right there. And Thierry Boots are nearly a full second faster than Alboreto last lap. So Alboreto has definitely, I think he's conserving or he's just running out of steam. As the gap went from like 6 seconds, it's now down to about 2.1 seconds. And Boutsen once again about 9/10 of a second faster than the Italian. So Thierry Boutsen is really soaking up a lot of pressure on Alboreto, and Alboreto really is struggling here. So Alboreto 1.5 seconds now, so he's trying to increase the gap again, try and get Boutsen away from him, but it's going to be a lot easier said than done for sure in his position. And Thierry Boutsen looks like he's going to come to the pits. Yes, he is, but Alboreto is staying out. Okay, so different tactics here. Mansell's coming into the pits. Okay, so what can Boutsen do here? Well, they're going straight in, straight out, so they're definitely going to be still in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Further down, we've got Riccardi coming into the pits. Salomon is staying out, so is John Jones. Okay, interesting tags here. So Jochen Mansell staying out as well. So is Schneider. So Ricciardi going for the early strategy. So is Timo Salonen. But Ricciardi coming out of the pits. Where's he going to be? Going to be down in 12th, it looks like. So Alboreto got a 22.6 second advantage over Antoine Salomon second. No, Alboreto, Salomon, John Jones, Boutsen, oh, actually not Boutsen. So John Jones, Salomon, and Alboreto need to come to the pits at some point in this race. Which I imagine either going to be this lap or the next lap. But it's definitely interesting to see different strategies being played out right here. What's going to happen at the end, I'm not sure, but I imagine it's going to be quite insane. So Alboreto, so essentially 24.3 second advantage over Boutsen, but will it be enough to get back out ahead of him? Here goes Alboreto coming into the pits now. Meanwhile, we've got Jochen Mansell made the pass on Derek Warwick for 6th position. Alboreto's in, he's coming straight out as well. I think he made him hang on to the lead of the race. Okay, so easily take the hang on to the lead of the race. Oh, is it easily going to? Well, it might be close actually. Although Alboreto's going to be maintain the lead. Boutsen's going to be second. Nigel Mansell is going to put the pressure on Boutsen for third. Well, quite a bit of pressure for third. But what about the battle for fourth here? Because Ricciardi, remember he went in the pits early. Oh, I think Ricciardi is going to hang on to fourth. And then Cheever, Derek Warwick going out of the pits, so going through each other. It's a bit weird this happens, but hey, that's a course for you. And there is Timo Salonen trying to get in the action here. He pitted early and nearly would have worked in his favour. Antoine Salomon dropping down to 8, so it's not exactly worked out for him this time round. So Alboreto's leading, second is Boutsen, Nigel Mansell's third, though I think Mansell might try and make the move. No. Ricciardi approaching the one down to 4th, 5th is a Cheever. Though he's going to be probably under a bit of pressure from Derek Warwick. 7th is Timo Salonen, though he might try and put some pressure on Warwick, but he might have to be pressure from Salomon as well. 9th is Poss of New Zealand. And to your top 10, Stig Blomqvist is in 10th. So John Jones is actually falling out of the points. So is Jochen Mass. So it's not gone well for the West German. In fact, not gone well for Gerhard Berger either. Down in not being able to capitalise on the pistols at all. Down in 15th place. We've got Bernd Schneider down in 17th as well. So this has really not gone well for him either. So things just not going along the driver's ways. Apart from Alboreto, Boutsen, and Mansell, Ricciardi, it looks like things have really gone in their favour. Not because they're quite a bit ahead, so they're not at risk of being passed. Meanwhile, we've got Salomon and Salonen battling for positions here. And Salomon is trying to get past Warwick for 6th. I think Salomon has just managed to do it. Yes, so Salomon goes into 6th, Warwick 7th, Salonen is 8th. Warwick trying to put some pressure on the Swissman for 6th position again, trying to get that position back off of the Swissman. Of course, Salomon really needs a good result to try and get Switzerland in the top 20 of the nation's competition at the end of the day, because Switzerland are still are 21st, which means they would be eliminated at the end of the 12th round of this season. Let's pass them down in 9th position. Couple points for New Zealand. That would help New Zealand out as they are 19th. They're currently the last place team to have scored a point. The only team that's not got a point but are not outside the top 20 is Japan. And Yuri Yama is not really help their cause here as he's down in 18th position. Of course, his teammate didn't qualify. And Alboreto, 1:32.4, the fastest time. What a time that is. 4/10 faster than Boutsen, but quite a bit faster than Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell's completely fallen off the pace here, trying to chase down Thierry Boutsen. Meanwhile, there's John Jones trying to put the pressure on Stig Blomqvist, trying to get himself back in the points, trying to get some points for Canada. He's doing so well, but the pit stops not going in his favour here in France this time round. As we're on lap 26 of 35. I don't think there's going to be too much drama to the end of the race unless something goes horribly wrong. I'm not really sure, but is anything going to really happen here? Nelson Piquet sets the fastest lap 132.2. Trying to salvage something in this race. He's down in 14, so I don't think Piquet is going to be able to do anything about it. I don't think he's going to be able to gain more positions for the rest of the race. I'm not sure, but anyway, with 10 laps left to go, I'm going to take a look at the stand, see who made the biggest gains and losses now. So the biggest gainer at this point is Yanayama from 20 seconds up to 18th, and then we've got Possum and Bootson, who've gained 2 positions each, who started 11th and 4th respectively. And then the biggest loser, well, it's not really big losers, just two. The only biggest losers are Salonen and Mansell. They've lost 2 positions each. Mansell started pole and Salonen started 6th. Blomqvist lost 2 positions. He's just been passed by John Jones. So he started 9th down to 11th. So yeah, not really big losses here, but not really big gains apart from Yanayama. They're all pretty much relatively spread down this point. So we've got a battle for 11th for sure going on. This is between Joachim Mass and Stig Blomqvist. I think that might be the only really noteworthy battle that's going to be going on. Probably to the end of the race, I'm not sure. But Joachim Mass going for the outside. Now switching to the inside line. Can he pull it off? Getting past Stig Blomqvist. Easily manages to pull it off there. So that's Joachim Mass up to 11th. His teammate Schneider's had a disastrous pit stop, being down in 17th position. With a 13-second gap between him and Salonen. As Nelson Piquet sets the fast lap again, 132.1 is the time. So Nelson Piquet trying to salvage something in this race, but he's really going to be struggling to get anything decent in 14th, I imagine. He's got Alessandro Nini in 13th, and Nini is 2.1 seconds ahead, so I think it's going to be a difficult, tough ask for Piquet to pull it off. But I just don't see it. Louis Peresala goes the fastest now, 132.0. Where did Louis Peresala pull that from? Down in 18th position. He's got a clean air, so I guess that will explain why he was able to pull a fast time, but that's very unexpected for someone who's been really struggling here in France. And Louis Peresala goes fastest again, 131.7. Again, where is Louis Peresala finding this pace all of a sudden? Man has been struggling this race down 18th, and yet he's, for 2 laps in a row, has got the fastest lap of this race. It's under 132 as well. 7/10 faster than Alberto, his last lap there. But also a 10th slower than Bootson that last lap, so Bootson has clawed back 1/10 of a second on Alberto. We're on lap 31-35 with 5 laps left to go. The gap is 6.2 seconds, so I think for Alberto this is going to be a way too big of an ask to try and claw that back to try to take the win off the Italian. I think it's John Jones trying to close in on Possum, but has he close in enough to try and make the pass for 9th position? Oh, he's going for it though. Look, coming around the right hander. Is John Jones going to make his way through to 9th? He definitely, yes, he does indeed. So that is Canada to 9th and New Zealand in 10th position. There'll still be a great result for both their teams to be in the points, especially when they're ahead of West Germany, a team that's trying to defend their nation's title. But it's not. But it's been not a great result for them. It's not been a great season for them so far. But anyway, the race leader, Michele Alboreto, on the starting the final lap of this race, is absolutely dominant performance from the Italian man who was in championship contention. I think I'm pretty sure he's going to be the championship leader as things stand at the end of this round. But we'll find out for sure once this race is completed. And Ichiro is going to have one last lap to go to try and get 5th for himself and for the United States, while Joachim Mass is going to have one last chance, to try and get a point for himself and for West Germany. as we look for the championship leader coming down the main straight. So just 6.9 second advantage. You can pretty much just cruise to victory at this point. There's no real pressure because he's so far ahead. In fact, the gap's now over 7 seconds, so Albaretto's is pushing just to make sure that there's absolutely no possible doubt that he is going to be this race winner here in France. And speaking of that, here goes Albaretto. Just a few corners left to go. Not very much else that needs to be said. And the Michele Albaretto is going to win the 1988 Formula-Olympic race here in France. And here we go, Michele Albaretto just going across the line to confirm that he is the winner here in France. Thierry Boutsen, a well-deserved podium for him and for Belgium. A good performance there for Nigel Mansell to finish in third. Now we just gotta wait for everyone else to make their way across the finish line. And here is the final result. Michele Albaretto wins the race by 7.2 seconds ahead of Thierry Boutsen, with Nigel Mansell taking third. A well-deserved fourth place for Jorge Ricciardi. Antoine Salomon doing Switzerland a huge favour, helping them in a chance to get back into the top 20 positions to finish in 5th. Eddie Cheever, a well-deserved result for him and for the United States in 6th. Derek Warwick takes 7th. Timo Salonen, a good performance for him to salvage 8th position. John Jones 9th for Canada. And Possum rounds off the points position. With those just missing out, Joachim Mass in 11th, Stig Blomqvist in 12th, Nelson Piquet will be very disappointed with 13th. A good debut for Nani to finish 14th. Gerhard Berger, the man who came to this round as the championship leader, will be very, very disappointed to not score any points and to be down in 15th. Boy Rahal 16th, Bernstein 17th. A very difficult race for the two Spaniards to be 18th and 19th. And Yuru Yanayama, the final driver to finish this race, in 20th, as the two drivers have failed to finish, Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. So with those results out of the way, let's take a look at the overall standings. Thanks to winning the race here in France, Michele Albaretto now takes the lead of the championship by 4 points over second place, which is now held by Nigel Mansell with 62 points. Gerhard Berger slips down to third after only managing to finish in 15th position, ahead of Derek Warwick, who is in 4th. Thierry Boutsen's well-deserved podium puts him in the top 5 positions. In the F2 division, thanks to the win in the main race, Al Unser now is the championship leader in the F2 division with 46 points, which is 8 more than second place Philippe Streiff, who is now permanently in the F1 division, while Unser's teammate Danny Sullivan, only getting an 8th place in the reverse race and a 12th in the main race, puts him in third with 37 points. And finally, in the Nations competition, the United Kingdom leads the way with 65 points, which is only 2 more than Italy in second, as Austria slips down to third with only 52 points, which is still 19 more than 4th place of Spain. And at the bottom of the board is still Portugal, who are still in danger of being eliminated at the end of the 8th round. So, what are my final thoughts? Well, it's definitely blown things wide open with a bad result for Schneider, Berger, and Joachim Mass, and a couple of others. Not to mention Prost, Senna, and Piquet as well. But for an amazing result for Albaretto and Nigel Mansell and Boutsen, I think this could blow things wide open of who's going to win the Drivers' Championship and the Nations competition from this round alone. However, there's still 11 races left to go, and I'm very excited to see how it will shape up, and I hope you're looking forward to it like I am. And on that note, I shall see you over for the 6th round of the 1988 Formula Olympics season.